Hi, I'm Jamie, and today I'm going to do a demonstration showing how to use Cricut's brand new Sublimation printer paper. I did a pretty simple project, so it shouldn't take too long. But I do want to show the paper. It comes in a really nice box, keep it nice and flat, and then it comes wrapped with a plastic sleeve. This paper is 120 GSM, so it's nice and thick, and you shouldn't have bleed-through issues. The printable side is a nice bright white, and the back of this paper is a very slight pink color, which might be kind of hard to pick up on camera. Let me see. There you go, side by side. The back is on the left, and the front is on the right. I printed my page using my Epson F170 sublimation printer and got fantastic results, which I always do usually. I'm going to do a puzzle. My granddaughter just loves puzzles, and it makes such a cool little gift, and sometimes I use these and actually make greeting cards out of them. The image I used is from Design Space, from one of the licensed Frozen cartridges. I used two images. The background is one image, and then this image is another image that I put on top. And then I also used this Frozen image from one of the sets, and I put it all together, sized it, and then flattened it together so it's all one cohesive piece. And then I also printed two miniature-sized ones to go on the box that we'll be putting together for the puzzle, so that she has an example of what the puzzle is supposed to look like. So let's get started. I'm going to be using my Easy Press 3 in the 9x9 size. The puzzle is a 5x7. And for this particular product, I normally follow the instructions from the manufacturer. And the manufacturer says that we want to do 370 degrees. And we want to go 45 seconds. Okay, we'll let that heat up while we're putting everything together. Now, normally when you're doing a project with any kind of iron-on or sublimation, you would use a lint roller on your project to make sure that you don't have any lint or fuzz or anything like that. In this case, because this is a paper puzzle, basically, I don't really want to do that because I don't want to risk possibly tearing the surface. So I'll just kind of lightly blow it off. And then what we're going to do, I did my piece using Print and Cut and cut it out on my Maker 4. What we're going to do is make sure your piece, your printed page, is just a little bit bigger than the item you ultimately want to put it on. That way you've got room for error in case something doesn't quite go right. And then I'm going to line it up where I want it. And then we're going to use some of Cricut's heat-resistant tape to attach our printed piece to the front of the puzzle. This is another good reason to make your printed page just slightly bigger, is in case something moves when you go to flip it back over. Now, because this is a puzzle and I don't want it to come apart, I'm going to take this piece of cardboard that the puzzle came with, and I'm going to set it right back on the back of it before I flip it. Now, you don't want to get this ink on your pressing pad. So I'm going to use a piece of Cricut's butcher paper underneath my project because I have to flip it over to press it. And then I'm going to use another piece on top just in case the ink bleeds, because we don't want to get this on our press, obviously. And my press is now up to temp. So now I'm going to set it on top of my project and make sure that I've covered the whole thing. And then I'm going to give it fairly firm pressure and just try not to move it until it's done. If you jiggle your heat press or it slides, it could cause your image to ghost, and well, that wouldn't be attractive. I could have used the Cricut heat app, since this is an Easy Press 3, to send my settings to my heat press. But because Cricut doesn't have a preset in their heat app for puzzles, I had to set it by hand. Now when you lift this up, you want to try to lift as straight up as possible. So let the pressure off and then just pick it up. And then move your top piece out of the way. And as you can see, we got a little bit of ink on this paper. So if I didn't have this there, I would have ended up with that ink on my press, and then it would have ended up on the next thing that I pressed with my heat press. Now we need this to cool, and it's going to do that a whole lot faster if it's not sitting on top of this mat that's already hot. While I'm waiting for that to cool, let's go ahead and put our box together. So this is a gable box, and I've also included this in my design space file to make it easier for you, and I've already sized it. It should be big enough to hold all of our pieces when we take the puzzle apart. It's super simple. You just bend along all of your score lines. The four main sides are going to be mountain folds, like so. And then for our flaps, the first fold is a mountain fold, but then the second fold is a valley fold. And the same thing on this one. First fold is a mountain, second fold is a valley. And then for our bottom, they're all mountain fold. Now for this, I used Cricut's holographic craft board. And it can be just a little bit difficult to get glued, so I'm going to use some super sticky double-sided tape as well as glue to try to make sure that it stays good and stuck. I'll also get the glue ready. This is Cosmic Shimmer glue. I just grabbed it off of Amazon, and I'm using my Sweet Petunia precision glue press. I love that glue press. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're just going to kind of fold that over like that, and I removed my tape liner, and then I'm going to put a little bit of glue here on top of the tape in case I need to jiggle this a little bit, and then a little bit on the rest of the flap. Then you're going to take this side over here and just fold it straight down and then rub really well. You want to make sure it's good and stuck. And just in case your glue oozed out, you want to go ahead and bring this box up so that it doesn't stick where you don't want it to stick. Okay, now the way this box goes together, because you fold this flap in and then this flap, and then, whoops, no, you fold the side flaps in first. They get tucked in like that. So you should look like this. And then this piece goes in last on top, like that. And that should be all the taper glue you need for this project. You'll fold your flaps down like so, and you'll tuck them into the little slots on the side. Isn't that cute? Okay, now we have our two little printed pictures. I already put some double-sided tape on the back of these just to make this a little bit faster. So we'll peel our tape off. And we'll center this as best we can and stick it down. Isn't that cute? I love these little boxes. And we'll stick our other one to the other side. And we might get it in the middle. There we go. Okay, there we go. Box is all done. And we should be done with our heat press, so let's turn that off. Now, we'll bring our project back over and get rid of all of our little trash pieces. Now, we should be able to flip this back over and take our cardboard off. And then gently peel off our tape. You want to be gentle with this because after you press it, this tape seems to get extra sticky. We don't want to tear our puzzle. Okay, now that we've got the tape off, we'll flip it back over. Look at that. Let me get the cardboard under it. Isn't that beautiful? It's probably not showing up on the camera, but this particular sublimation puzzle, the puzzle itself has a bit of a shimmer to it, so anything you put on top of the puzzle gains that shimmer. She's going to love it. Okay, now for the real test. Let's see if our puzzle fits in the box. I'm just going to very carefully take our puzzle apart. These puzzles are so nice. One year I made birthday cards out of these puzzles for all of my grandkids. It was just such a neat idea, and it's 5x7. I didn't even have to put extra postage on it because it wasn't too heavy or an odd size. I made quite a few of these now. The quality of these puzzles seems to be really good too, and they weren't very expensive. Okay, there we go. It's all apart. All the pieces fit in the box with room to spare. You could probably even get an 8x10 puzzle in this box without issue. There you go, project complete. Happy crafting!